Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is JRTV Hawaii, broadcasting you right from Waikiki, and we're taking a quick walk to the ocean. This show is dedicated to great marriages for people, new ideas, and world peace. And one important element of world peace is this idea of unity consciousness. And the reason it's important is because with unity consciousness, you're able to transcend any idea that these are our bodies, that we need to worry about all the bodies and the ups and downs of the physical realm, and what possessions we have, and enter into a realm where you're actually the one in control of it. You are consciousness. When you walk around, or when you do the light work, for example, I imagine I'm like taking down the sunlight and reflecting it off my hands, and people's auras are activated, and you imagine all these ideas where maybe people touch the light with their hands. But whatever it is, it's a frame of mind where you know that you are everything that is. And sometimes it's necessary for people to use magic mushrooms to understand this, but I think it would be, if it really is, if we are all we are, I feel like we shouldn't need mushrooms, we shouldn't need anything. We should be able to just do some contemplation, do some meditation, and realize that you are everything. And when you're everything, you realize that things that you thought were important, it's like the seeking of pleasure or the delaying of gratification. There's different elements to it. So look at all these people. So the aspect of seeking pleasure involves, should we seek pleasure when even though we are even though other people are suffering, and it's like, what's the best way to ensure that nobody will suffer in the future. I find that the only right way is through the light work, and some people think like the only way is through prayer, but it's like, what's truly the most efficient way to do things? And like the value of religious rituals, like the regular meditation, is, even if it seems a little abstract, it's an issue of having like complete control over your mind, instead of the default thinking, which is that you're this body. You want to really feel, at least once a day, you want to feel like, I am all that is. I am every single person. I animate everything that, all the energy and all the creative, the spirit of creativity. That's me. And so part of this video, you can almost repeat these as mantras. These are affirmations to remind you that you are all that is. And if you really think you are all that is, then it's a transcendence of everything. It's a transcendence of wishing, wanting, and it's just, what I do is I beam a beam of light whenever there's like a stress factor or an unknown. I beam bright white light, and I imagine that Like I beam it down on people who I'm concerned about. I beam it on objects or situations or environments in which I'm worried about what the potential outcome might be. I beam it on, just people in my immediate surroundings to ensure that it provides. See, what the light does is in my experience, it creates a certain synchronicity that allows us to focus and experience what we're supposed to experience and like want good for people and be in like the higher level of thinking, and also create arrangements so we can activate our lower chakras and lower levels of thinking. But I just want to insist upon this idea that these are all bipedal hominids, and we know that it's not who we are, because we are perfect, pure, conscious light. We are the unified field of light, the structure that is not seen, but is what is there. And some people might argue, well, okay, if all that's true, well then what, why is that good, or what's the, well, it just feels good. And I mean, just in the same way that to me it feels good for humanity to celebrate woman and her womb and her body and vagina, and that's like a healthy way of thinking and concentrating one's focus and attention and culture, as opposed to other things, other aspects of sexuality, of like the shall we call it the just limitations of existence. But at the end of the day, you have to say to yourself this other mantra, which is that we created this. This is all of our, it belongs to us. It's our creation, and it was there. It's like, why would you create suffering? Well, you can't have joy unless there is suffering, right? And that's because you wouldn't be able to identify, okay, well, that's suffering, or that's something I don't like, and now I want to aim for something I do like, and that it comes in combination with the individual experience. And I have another point to make, and that is that concerning interest in the physical realm, and some people call it objectifying. Like, it is objectifying to talk about people's personal lives, or talk about your own, trying to make yourself look to be better than others. Everyone is different. We're not better or lesser. Our minds may and our bodies may function and do more things. Like, some people might be more virile or intelligent or anything, but and that should be taken into consideration as God, as all that is, the consciousness that we should be exercising to creatively structure society and to uplift and improve our genetics through various means. But the point I'm touching on is this idea of what's it called? It's called like an obsession with materialism is the word I'm looking for. And I'm really into materialism, not because I don't like people, but because I prefer the subtlety of like appreciating people's work, like crafts, and instead of hoping that people will, like, instead of trying to verbally say things like, you're not, like, not using verbal language, but using acts and gestures and creative works in order to communicate, and high quality stuff in order to communicate how I feel about others. And like cleaning, for example, or making products, or doing things instead of trying to, well, you get the idea. It's like respecting the energy.